The UN's Nuclear Security and Safety Agency confirmed to ABC News communication exists between the IAEA and Iranian authorities. Iran has allowed visits of facilities that weren't damaged in the U.S. and Israeli strikes last summer. Despite diplomatic talks, though, on a nuclear deal to curb Iran's nuclear program, tensions remain high. ABC's Ian Pannell says top Trump allies are still not ruling out a possible regime change.
U.S. officials briefed on the matter, saying Iran's indicated a willingness to temporarily suspend its nuclear enrichment. The U.S. also weighing lifting sanctions and the embargo on its oil sales. But Vice President J.D. Vance warning Iran isn't yet willing to acknowledge and work through President Trump's red lines. And while Iran's diplomats talk of a new window for an agreement, we have Ayatollah Khamenei, the supreme leader, warning that, quotes, the strongest army in the world might sometimes receive such a slap that it can't get back on its feet.
SpaceX set to launch one of its Falcon 9 rockets tomorrow, but that rocket will take a different trajectory than before, and the first stage of the rocket will be landing on a drone ship stationed in the Atlanta off the coast of the Bahamas. That could startle some people in the islands not used to hearing a sonic boom. That launch takes place at Florida's Cape Canaveral. The grandson of H.B. Reese, who invented Reese's Peanut Butter Cup in the 1920s, has a beef with the Hershey Company, accusing the candy company that owns Reese's of cutting corners with cheaper and lower quality ingredients. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Pizza's here.
Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
News Talk 610 AM and 102.1 FM. KVNU.
It's 4:05 on this wintry Wednesday. I'm Will Feel-Right with your KVNU local headlines. Boy, old man Winter, he may have been late this year, but he sure has packed a punch today as we've had heavy snow falling throughout the area. Now, Utah State University officials announcing earlier today that they did cancel all classes this afternoon on the Logan campus due to the winter storm. According to an emergency alert that was issued earlier today, all classes that started at 1:30 through the afternoon were canceled. Now, while academic instruction was paused for this afternoon, university officials did state that student services would remain open and offices would remain open. So far, there has been no talk of any sort of cancellation or delay of tonight's basketball game. Of course, the big one for the Aggies is they'll be hosting Boise State in the Spectrum. That'll be tipping off at 8:30 tonight. Of course, also the weather impacting travel through Logan and Sardine Canyons as we've had heavy snow, and UDOT is still advising that anyone traveling through the canyons should have four-wheel drive or snow tires and chains on their vehicle in order to avoid any sort of accidents. That is being implemented for Sardine Canyon. Of course, also being advised for Logan Canyon as well. Meanwhile, Valley View Highway is mostly clear, wet in some areas, so watch out for that. And a lot of the back roads, especially through some of the local neighborhoods, that's where we're seeing a lot of snow that's built up because, it's just has not gotten cleared off yet. Well, Salt Lake City International Airport impacted from this storm as well. The Federal Aviation Administration grounding all departing flights earlier today in the storm. Now, airport spokesperson Nancy Vollmer said the crews were actively conducting snow removal operations throughout the closure. Now, the airport reopened at about 1 o'clock. And a 39-year-old Preston, Idaho woman was sentenced to jail and probation earlier this month for assaulting her brother during a dispute over loud music. Shannon Lee Karpowicz pleaded guilty in First District Court to aggravated assault resulting in serious bodily injury, a second-degree felony. Now, she was ordered to serve 90 days in jail and 48 months of probation. Now, charging documents state the Logan City Police had responded to a residence back in October. Now, the 46-year-old victim told officers the altercation had began when he asked Karpowicz to turn down music in the garage. Now, police say that Karpowicz punched the victim, and co-defendant Kelly G. Olson, a 43-year-old, held him down while she continued to strike him in the face and groin. Now, the victim, who was recovering from back surgeries at the time, was shoved over a table and sustained 3 broken ribs. Now, in addition to the jail time, Karpowicz was ordered to complete anger management and substance abuse treatment. Olson, meanwhile, is facing charges of aggravated kidnapping and aggravated assault. He has pleaded not guilty and is scheduled to appear again in court coming up on March 16th. Well, this winter storm warning remains in effect until 7 o'clock tonight, as we'll start to see snow tapering off as we head into the later afternoon hours and into tonight. Now, overnight tonight, temperatures will drop into the mid-teens. Tomorrow, we'll still see a slight chance of snow. That's going to continue into Friday as temperatures the rest of the week going to stay in the low 30s. But the storm should clear out by Friday afternoon, and it looks like we're still going to see some sunny skies for the weekend. And weather this hour is brought to you by Bell Sculpt, offering 26% off any procedure. That's right. When you call their bountiful office, ask them about the discount, 26% off any procedure when you call them today. 801-335-5388 for Bell Sculpt. And I'm Will Feelwright with your KVNU local headlines.
This is Matt Robbins with Quality First Insurance, and we are now Alera Group. This is great news for you. Now you have more choices and strength of a top national broker in your corner with our local personal service. Every situation is unique. Now we can tailor coverages from deductibles and limits to risk management, so it fits you even better. Let's compare options and tighten your program. Same friendly faces, same local office. Call 435-752-0101.
The Aggies on KVNU, 610 AM and 102.1 FM.
This is Dr. Josh Red with Red River Health and Wellness. You already know us for helping people get real answers. Now, we're taking that care even further. We are expanding services to include advanced wellness therapies like ozone treatments, IV therapy, hormone optimization, and targeted peptides. These aren't trends, they're tools. Tools designed to support energy, recovery, immune health, hormone balance, and overall performance. Used strategically, medically guided, and tailored to you. If you ever felt like you're doing all the right things but still not feeling right, this is the next step. Because feeling better isn't about masking symptoms, it's about supporting the systems that run your body. Red River Health and Wellness, because your health deserves more than guesswork. Learn more or schedule a consultation at redriverhealthandwellness.com.
Call Red River Health and Wellness at 855-55-RIVER.
Call Red River today.
This is Jordan with Primrose Home Care and Hospice, and I'm here with Barbara. Barbara, how did you become acquainted with Primrose?
I had been trying to get another company to come and help me, and I had waited about 2 weeks, and I needed a bath. My neighbor suggested that she would make a few phone calls, and that very afternoon, Mark Stokes was sitting in my front room, and he said, "What do you need?"
Primrose Home Care and Hospice. We're your home team.
You work before dawn and long past dusk. At Black Cliffs Equipment, we see that. That's why we bring you Massey Ferguson tractors. Right now, get 0% financing for up to 96 months on select tractor models. Plus, great offers on hay equipment. And when the work gets tough, our service team is here to help with genuine AGCO parts. As a way of saying thanks for all you do, mention this ad when you come in for a free gift. Black Cliffs Equipment, your Massey Ferguson dealer in Hyde Park.
KVNU's For the People with Jason Williams and Bill Walter.
And it is Utah known as the fraud capital of the world. Not because we have more people committing fraud, but because we have so many people falling for it.
Going beneath the headlines and connecting you to the newsmakers.
The radio is a great way to get the word out to a lot of people in an emergency, so we thank you for your help and being a partner with us.
For the People on News Talk KVNU, 610 AM, 102.1 FM, online at 610kvnu.com, and on the KVNU mobile app.
Welcome to KVNU's For the People. It's Wednesday, February 18th. I'm Jason Williams. 26 degrees here at the Radio Ranch at 4:12 in the afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. Representative Casey Snyder joining us later on in the show. We had him scheduled for yesterday. He had to reschedule last minute after a bill that was important to leadership, which Representative Snyder is now in the House, was scheduled last minute for a committee hearing. The bill did pass the committee with some reservations, and we'll talk with him about that in hour 2 of today's show. Snowfall out there today. We got our entire winter in one day. I was just speaking with Mayor Anderson here as we begin the Speak to the Mayor segment here on the show, and we're looking around the state, and Park City Mountain Resort is reporting 21 inches of snow in the last 24 hours.
Yeah, an inch an hour.
And
I love it.
Basically, yeah. And more coming tonight. They're expecting another 4 to 6 inches overnight there in Park City.
You didn't realize I was a meteorologist as well, too, because that's like the
you
number
love to see this,
that's the number
right?
one question I get at my other job, when I'm not playing mayor. Are we going to have enough water? Are we going to get some snow? Is it going to rain today? It's like those are all the questions that I
cross
field.
your fingers.
I field those questions all the time. So,
well, we were talking yesterday. So here in northern Utah, we were at 74% of normal. And much of the northern part of the state is in that, between 60, 74%. And then this storm comes in. I guarantee this bumps us up to 100%, at least for a couple of weeks. And there's another storm coming through next week.
Yeah, another like a couple waves of storms.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to be in pretty good shape up here. I think parts of southern Utah might still need additional.
Sure,
but
maybe they'll get some spring rains, and
we're very fortunate and we're very blessed in the northern part of Utah here, especially where we're part of the Bear River Basin, and we just get more.
Yeah,
we just get more than everybody else. So
that is, and it's very welcome.
Yeah,
I was starting to get nervous. Honestly, I was starting to see. In fact, while I was at the film festival at the end of January in Park City, I noticed some of the aspen trees along the road there by the Eccles High School. Right. Where you can see a hint of green on the branches, and you see that it makes you a little nervous for the fruit growers.
Our water year starts the 1st of October.
Yeah.
And what I think is going to be interesting is I'll bet by the end of April we have hit our yearly average.
I wouldn't be surprised
because we had 8 inches. In December.
Yeah, that was.
I mean, we got a lot of precipitation in November and December. It just was rain instead of snow, and so between the storms this month and March and April, I'll bet by the end of April we're at like 100, like the whole year's worth of water we've already accumulated.
Yeah.
So
that was. I noticed.
Interesting.
Hiram Reservoir gained about 10 feet. In just the last week. I know that. I take my dog out there when the weather's been warm enough to let my dog swim.
Yeah.
And I took him out there once a week for the last couple of weeks, and I noticed about 10 feet in additional water there. So, yeah, it was looking scary.
It's happening.
But it's looking a lot better right now. So,
well, Logan City's water is going to be in great shape because our 10 million gallon tank is almost done.
Really?
Yeah.
Already?
And the water line's going in. It started in front of my house on Monday.
Okay.
So coincidentally, first shovel full on Canyon Road was in front of my house.
They started, I wonder if on purpose.
And my neighbor to the west, So, no, I don't think it was, I think it was intentional. It just kind of worked out that way. So.
And that's going to be, weather permitting and no surprises. That's going to be a fairly quick project, right? The line itself.
Oh, it's going to take forever.
Is it? 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, you're wishful thinking, Jason.
Well, relatively quick. Let's put it that way.
The line and most of the major construction will be done by the end of this summer. First part of fall.
That's not bad.
It's okay unless you live there.
Yeah.
And to get the landscaping and the trees and everything done, it's going to be next spring. By the time that gets all finished, but. We'll see what happens. I'm hopeful that it's not too disruptive, but you look at those I don't know what they're called, but those things they put in that kind of protect the trench. So whoever's working in the bottom of the trench, it doesn't like crush them if the sides slough off.
That's a really good idea.
I don't know what those are called, but they're 10 feet across. Like they're literally 10 feet across. So they're massive, and the pipeline that's going in there. If you haven't noticed on 300 North. That pipeline's huge.
Yeah.
And that's
I didn't realize how large the pipeline was going to be. I knew the tank was going to be big.
Yeah, it's massive.
But I drove that just recently, and they had some of those sections sitting out there. Yeah. And that's a massive pipeline. But this is, for those not familiar, this is kind of a planning ahead project for Logan City. This is to get water from one side of town to the other, where most of the growth is happening, right, in Logan City.
It's for growth, but it also equalizes the pressure of our water system across the entire city, which is helpful because we have parts of the city that have low pressure and parts that have too much. And so this will help equalize that pressure. And so you're going to see much better water pressure consistency across the board for the entire city because of this project.
That's important for firefighters,
huge,
right?
Yeah. And then it will boost our water availability for all of our emergency services. So we will have better emergency services production if we have a big fire somewhere. So this is critical for our ongoing infrastructure and for a little bit of growth as well too.
It's something every city is kind of grappling with. Watching the legislative session, there is not. Well, I mean, there are a few, but I'll bet a 10-minute period doesn't go by where they aren't discussing a bill that is growth related in some way.
Growth or water.
Water.
Or it seems like this year property tax is like the big thing.
Yeah,
it's like property taxes.
In fact, good news for listeners on that front. Representative Karen Peterson's bill passed a committee to a full House floor debate. This is a bill that just kind of widens the window on how much time there is to notify the public of a truth and taxation meeting. So it gets a little, I think it was 30 days, and her bill extends it to 60 or something like that. Don't quote me on that. We'll talk about it in an hour or two. But
we could do a lot of speculating with what's going on at the legislature right now.
How do you feel about the legislative session so far? I know cities always get nervous anytime they're meeting on Capitol Hill because they like to take your decisions away from you, right?
Early on in the session, when there's not a whole lot of excitement going on and things are going into committee, we don't get too excited. It's when it goes out on the floor, then we kind of get nervous. We're a little bit concerned about the push to limit property tax increases because that does cause some problems for a lot of different cities. And Logan, we actually looked up the numbers yesterday. Out of the top 25 largest cities in Utah, Logan is the 13th largest for population.
Really?
13th, yeah.
Okay.
Out of those 25, our property tax rate is the lowest.
Okay.
Period.
That's
the property tax rate is the lowest, but we've been doing very small increases, 3% here, no increases for probably 8 or 9 years. We didn't have any increases, and then we've done like a 3%. And if they cap it at 5%, we probably won't just keep with the 3. We'll probably ask for a 5.
Okay.
I mean, it sounds counterproductive, just because what if something happens and next year we really, really are desperate and we need a 10% increase and we can't do it. So I just see other communities doing the same thing, and it's like it's not going to decrease people's property tax; it's actually going to increase it. And then they're also talking about just completely getting rid of property tax.
That's an interesting debate.
So it's like, okay, so how do cities generate any revenue that don't have commercial in their city?
Well, and that would be difficult for school districts, for counties, for cities, and
apparently there's other states that have been doing it successfully for a while, and they're contemplating it. So it is a distinct possibility, and that's another way that they will take taxing entities away from cities.
Yeah, that's it's one of the trends of the legislative session. I feel they are looking for reasons to take decisions away from cities. And then at the same time, I love this. Yesterday, we'll give Rep. Snyder a hard time about this for you, Mark, but for yesterday, this bill. So basically, the state wants more money for building out our water infrastructure, which is smart and definitely necessary. But the bill that passed the committee yesterday that caused Rep. Snyder to have to postpone on us until today because he wanted to be there to speak to this bill, speak in favor of this bill. The bill, it's a good idea, but the way it's structured, they want more money for water infrastructure, but it's an election year. So they're not going to ask for it. They're going to make cities ask for it. So the bill basically says cities will increase fees and taxes on primary and secondary water sources. So the state then has more money for water infrastructure, but they don't. The state doesn't want to ask outright
do it
because it's a re-election year. That's how things are done in the legislature.
It's fairly consistent that they implement new things for us to have to do.
Yeah.
But do not implement a way for us to generate any money to do it with.
Sure.
And that's a concern for us as well too, because our revenue is static. I mean, there's no way to increase revenue except raise property taxes or hope that you have more sales tax.
So when the state's throwing unfunded mandates,
it's like, well, how do we pay for that? You know, it's like we got to find a way to pay for it, but they'll tell us what to do, but they won't tell us how to pay for it. So
they keep doing that to the county sheriffs as well. Yeah. It's definitely a pattern.
Yeah. But we do need to talk. We do need to talk about our America 250 celebration.
This is I saw some a little bit of information about this on the Logan City website.
Yes.
How is this? So how long has the planning been going on for this?
So this is a great question because they kind of announced this last year with the 250th celebration of the signing of the Declaration of Independence, and we decided that it is pronounced the semi-quincentennial celebration.
I had to practice
last time.
I had to practice.
And so the first Tuesday that I was in office, I met with the executive committee, which is all of the department heads of all the 12 departments of Logan City. I said, okay, what are we doing for the America 250 celebration? and that's what I got. Yeah, it's like, all right, it's already the 5th of January. We better get hopping on this.
Yeah.
And so I started bringing some ideas, and as a committee, we chose what to do and came up, I think, with some really great ideas. And so very excited about what we announced last night at City Council. Most of it is on the website. We're still adding some things.
More coming?
Yeah, and we're going to add more activities and events as we go. There's just some things I didn't want to announce yet because we weren't 100% sure we could actually pull it off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we're hoping to do a bunch of other things. But our 3 pillars are education, community engagement and service, and inspiration.
Okay.
And so for education, what better way to educate our community than to partner with Utah State?
Sure.
We've got just like amazing resources there, and every chance I get, I want to partner with Utah State on stuff because we just don't work together often enough.
Sure.
And so I reached out to them, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we've got professors of history and political science, and we'll do some." And so we got with the library, and Logan Library is going to host a lecture series, and it's going to go all year long. So once a month on the 3rd Saturday of each month at 4:00, we're going to have a resident professor, expert. They're talking about an event in history or a person in history that was significant. Just very, very timely topics about American history and our heritage as well too.
Okay.
And so we're doing that all month. We're going to do some film series as well too, and those will be on the 2nd and 3rd Thursdays at 6:00. We'll be doing in June, July, and August. So we've got an adult film series, and we've also got a kids film series, which will be on those same days at 1:00. So we'll have stuff going on for the kids. We'll have movies going on for the adults as well too. So that's part of our education. We're trying to get some licensing on some different like documentaries to show. And so we've got our fingers crossed that we're going to have some other things to add to this as well too.
Okay.
Maybe we'll have some movie nights at the Lob Plaza, which could be really fun.
This is very cool.
Outdoor movies and learn about history and some really cool things.
I love this. So there's a part of this America 250 celebration that Logan City. So you partnered up with Logan School District and USU.
Yeah.
And you're calling this Project Inspire.
Project Inspire. That's the third part.
That's the third part.
Okay. Don't jump ahead.
Oh, okay.
Don't
Sorry.
ahead.
I didn't realize that was.
But the Project Inspire is really cool. I'm going to take full credit for that one.
This is a very
that
cool
was my
idea.
That was my idea. Yeah. But for education, we're also going to start up the Resident Academy again.
I'm excited about this.
And they
I had a chance to do
Tammy
this
Pfeiffer
a
was doing
long
this like
time
in
ago.
2010, 2011.
It was Tyler Riggs and I got to be her guinea pigs, and it was fascinating to watch. There was an individual in this this academy, she called it, who came in very convinced Logan City was irresponsible with money, needed to cut all their spending, could cut their budget in half. And as we went through this course and we all learned more about the city budget, about power and light, about streets and roads, talking to all the department heads, I watched this person kind of evolve into, and at the end, I remember her saying, Logan City's actually very responsible. But it took being able to see inside
exactly
the inner workings.
Yeah, and that's the whole idea. Is like, well, let's educate our residents and share with them, what's going on in the city and in different departments. And so I think they had like 6 different courses back then. I think we're going to shoot for probably closer to 8.
Really?
And we're going to do 2 a month starting in the fall. I couldn't quite pull the syllabus and the curriculum together, overnight.
Sure.
And so we're going to work on that. And then it just didn't seem like it was right to do it during the summer. Everybody's so busy; it's hard to schedule stuff. So it's like, all right, let's just start in the fall and make it work. But you'll be able to participate, and we'll probably limit it to 20 or 25 people. And you'll get to go to Logan City Environmental and look at the compost facility and maybe the landfill and look at the wastewater treatment facility, which is really cool. It's actually really neat. But then you could go hang out with the fire department and go maybe do some stuff with the police department and go fix roads with the streets department. I mean,
the one that blew me away was Public Works.
Yeah, Public Works
that was fascinating.
Yeah,
I had no idea what you hear something like Public Works and you just think,
go, oh, what's that?
Yeah, parks or something like that. But Public Works is, I think, one of the most complex departments in any city.
Right.
And Logan City being the largest city in the valley. Yeah, it was just mind blowing.
We'll have one class that's just on mayor, like executive and city council and legislative.
Okay.
Because Logan is a true separation of powers where you've got mayor and legislative branches. And so I think it's really important that people understand the difference between like what I do as mayor and what city council does, as the legislative portion of our government as well too, and how they don't overlap for a reason. And so people come and ask me to do things, and it's like, you need to go talk to city council. It's like that's them.
Sure.
Understanding let them take care of that.
Different roles.
So this is what we're going to try and do for our education this year.
I'm excited about this. For Logan residents, honestly, when the registration opens for this, sign up.
Yeah.
It is so eye-opening to see inside the city, your city, and the inner workings, and understand more where your tax dollars go, but also what it takes to run a city. The finance, the class on the city finance as well. That was honestly
also fascinating.
Yeah, it's so cool to see. We're talking again with Logan City Mayor Mark Anderson, talking about the Logan, Utah's America 250 celebration that will be taking place this summer, and as Mark has just told us, into the fall with this Resident Academy 2.0. But there's more, so don't go away. We'll be back with more after this look at the news with KVNU's Will Feel Right.
Well, thank you, Jason. The weather continues to be our top story as many are going to be spending the afternoon digging out from this snowstorm that has left snow throughout the area. The mountains also getting even more of it. Of course, the Utah Avalanche Center issuing an avalanche warning because of all of this new snow that has fallen on a weak layer of snow because of the dry spell that we've had. So for those heading into the backcountry, you're being advised to be very cautious as this storm is expected to still bring some more snow through the rest of the afternoon. We could even see a little bit of snow tomorrow and into Friday. I'll get to that weather forecast coming up in just a minute. Meanwhile, Intermountain Health's Logan Regional Hospital is hosting a free Healthy Heart Fair tomorrow as part of National Heart Awareness Month. Now, the event is scheduled to take place on the Logan Hospital campus from 10 to 2. Now, it'll be held in the hospital's Heart and Lung Center. Now, attendees will be able to receive free blood pressure screenings and consult with nutrition experts regarding heart-healthy diets and recipes. Now, medical staff will also provide information on interpreting health metrics such as blood pressure, cholesterol, and blood sugar levels. Now, doctors at the hospital are stressing that heart disease is the leading cause of death in the United States, but they note that small lifestyle changes can significantly improve health outcomes. Meanwhile, a bill originally designed to lower the driving age in Utah has now been amended to focus on allowing parents to fulfill driver's education requirements for their children. House Bill 464 initially proposed to lower the learner's permit age by 6 months, but that provision has been removed, and the substitute bill now directs local education agencies to provide materials for home study and behind-the-wheel training to parents at no cost upon request. Now, under the proposal, parents with a valid Class D license would be able to certify their child's classroom training and driving hours. Now, requirements would include 40 total driving hours, 10 nighttime hours, and 6 observation hours. Now, additionally, both the parent and the child would have to attend a Zero Fatalities parent-teen night that would be held either virtually or in person. Now, if passed, the legislation would take effect coming up in May. And nominations are now open for the Best of Northern Utah contest. Last year, over 1,600 businesses were nominated, and more than 924,000 votes were cast across northern Utah. Now, the contest, which is again organized by the Cache Valley Media Group, the parent company of KVNU, is being administered by Elite Insights. They're an independent company that manages similar campaigns nationwide to ensure a fair and consistent process. Now, President and CEO of the Cache Valley Media Group, Kent Franson, said that this contest is about celebrating the businesses and employees who serve the community every day. And he also noted that winners are determined entirely by community nominations and votes. Now, nominations began this morning and will continue for the next several weeks at bestofnorthernutah.com. Well, we're going to continue to see a winter storm warning remaining in effect for this area until 7 o'clock tonight as snow continuing to fall throughout the area. It is going to start tapering off as we head into the evening hours tonight as temperatures will drop into the mid-teens. But tomorrow, still a small chance of some snow Thursday and Friday as temperatures will be right around the low 30s for our high the next couple of days. It looks like the storm will be out of here by the end of the week, and we'll start to see some warmer temperatures and a little bit more sunshine for this weekend. And weather this hour brought to you by Valley Recycling. When it comes to protecting the environment and giving you a chance to recycle for a little cash, remember Valley Recycling, 145 North, 10th West in Logan. And I'm Will Feelwright with your KVNU local headlines.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Law enforcement sources tell ABC News the FBI reached out to Mexican authorities about Nancy Guthrie's disappearance, but also say there's no evidence she was taken across the border. ABC's Alex Stone is in Tucson and says investigators are not done with the glove found several miles from her home.
The focus right now still being on that DNA that they were not able to get a match on yesterday. Now the sheriff saying they're looking at doing, possibly, they haven't decided yet, to do genetic genealogy on it, try to map out who other family members may have been of whoever's DNA that is. That takes a long time. They haven't decided that they're going to do it, but that would take a while.
In Northern California, 8 backcountry skiers were found dead today following an avalanche yesterday in rugged terrain near Donner's Pass. Crews are still searching for one more missing skier. Oil prices soaring today due to the escalating tensions between the U.S. and Iran and possible military strikes. This is ABC News.
Whole Tree Care.
Winter is finally here, and for Whole Tree Care, it's when the smartest work gets done. January and February mean the biggest savings of the year on tree trimming, 40% off. With the leaves gone, it's easier to trim and shape your trees, all while beating the spring rush.
Whole Tree Care.
The only finger you have to lift is to dial the phone number, 760-6587. Whole Tree Care, 760-6587.
Whole Tree Care.
Bringing Wall Street to Main Street. From your local experts in downtown Logan, this is the Adams Wealth Advisors Market Report.
Hi, this is Brooke with Adams Wealth Advisors. Stocks ended the day on a bright note Wednesday after solid data calmed the market, easing concerns about AI's potential disruption to businesses. All major U.S. stock indices posted meaningful gains. The Dow Jones Industrial Average rose 129 points to 49,663. The Nasdaq gained 0.8% to 24,899, and the S&P 500 advanced 0.56% to 6,881. The rally was broad-based, as most sectors ended the day in positive territory. Energy and technology led today's rally with gains of 1.92% and 1.03% respectively. Utilities, real estate, consumer staples, and industrials saw rotations out of those sectors after a streak of gains. The U.S. Treasury market took a hit due to strong data, as investors rotated out of safe haven assets. The U.S. 5-year and 10-year Treasury yields both rose 3 basis points to 3.65% and 4.09% respectively. Meanwhile, cryptocurrencies and gold continued to diverge. Bitcoin dropped another 1.7% today to near the 66,000 mark, almost half of its peak value just a few months ago. Gold, on the other hand, recovered nearly 2% and hit the 5,000 mark once again. Let's look at the data that reignited the market's enthusiasm. While November housing data was approximately in line with expectations, December data was meaningfully better than the economists' forecasts. In addition, December durable goods orders and January industrial metrics also surprised to the upside. The FOMC meeting minutes revealed that the Federal Reserve members are moving further away from agreeing on another rate cut. Most participants judged that downside risks to employment had moderated in recent months, while the risk of more persistent inflation remained. Weekly jobless claims and trade data will be available tomorrow, and we will bring you more updates then.
That's your update from Adams Wealth Advisors, guiding your financial future one day at a time. For personalized help planning yours, reach out to us at 435-752-1702. See you soon, Cache Valley. Advisory services offered through Adams Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor. For important disclosures and more information, visit adamswealthadvisors.com.
Which cookie is best? Oh, add cream to your soda or not? Well, here's something we can all agree on. We care about Utah, and it's in danger because Great Salt Lake is drying up, crippling our economy and ecosystem. Even worse, toxic dust containing arsenic and mercury will blow from the exposed lake bed, threatening the health and safety of local communities. This isn't a future problem, it's already happening. You still have time to make a difference. Visit growgsl.org to learn how you can help save the lake.
We could all use a little extra cash this time of year. Bring in all that old metal you have laying around and we'll pay you for it. Hi, this is Chris White, local manager at Valley Recycling. That's what we do at Valley Recycling. We'll pay you for most anything metal, from empty soda cans to old cars and appliances. For the really big jobs, we can help with our fleet of trucks and containers. We take all your scrap metal and give you cash. Mention this ad and get an extra 5 cents per pound for your aluminum cans, offering all the best prices for your metal recycling. Valley Recycling, 145 North, 10th West in Logan.
Who's the business you recommend without even thinking about it? The one you tell your friends about when they move to town? The place that's never let you down, squeezed you in last minute, or remembers your name when you walk through the door? It's time to give them the recognition they've earned. The Best of Northern Utah is back, presented by Alpine Cleaning and Restoration. Nominate your favorite businesses now at bestofnorthernutah.com.
Welcome back to KVNU's For the People. Our monthly Speak to the Mayor segment underway with Logan City Mayor Mark Anderson here in the studio. And I don't think I said this at the start of the show, but Mayor Anderson, thank you for your time to do this, especially considering the weather today, to drive down to the studio.
Absolutely, yeah.
The roads are a little dicey out there.
This is way more fun to do in person than to do over the phone. So it's like I'll make the time. And the garden guide starts in a couple of weeks too, so I got to get warmed up. I got to get warmed up for that.
You're going to be back back in the studio. That's right. You need to get your radio chops.
Yeah, yep. Working on it.
It's actually kind of exciting to think about that we're already to that point of the year.
March is just around the corner.
Yeah, that's
just around the corner.
I got to get my trays planted.
I'm dreaming about spring like every night. So
I don't. So the cabin fever isn't justified this year because until today, at least, we've had very little snow, and but I'm still feeling it a little bit. For listeners, we're talking about, this was just announced at the city council meeting last night. Mayor Anderson and Logan City announcing the America 250 celebration as it will play out. This is a national celebration this summer, yes. But this is we're talking about how it will play out here in Logan. We talked about the education element. They're going to be working on an America 250 lecture series in partnership with USU and the Logan Library.
And a film series.
that will run through the summer, June, July, and August, both an adult film series and a kids 250 film series.
And then the Resident Academy, which is going to be a blast.
That's going to be amazing.
So much fun.
The Resident Academy coming up in the fall, but registration information will be available earlier than that. And this is literally a chance for you as a Logan resident to go, to sort of a weekly event where you learn the inner workings of the city. It's really eye-opening. I had a chance to be a part of the trial run of this 10 years ago, and Tyler Riggs and I, when we were hosting the show together, and it was really eye-opening. And there's more.
So that's our first pillar is education. Second is engagement and service. And so we wanted to really push our employees to do service. Now, we're not talking about service just in Logan. So this is where we kind of reach out to the entire valley and the community as a whole. And we're encouraging our employees to serve. And I don't care if they serve in Logan or if they serve in their neighborhood, wherever they live, or in their church, wherever they live, or in their favorite nonprofit, or just anywhere. We want them to serve. And we're going to try and put in 75,000 hours this year.
Amazing.
Yeah. And so we've done some calculations, and if you want to do 50 hours a year, you just do 1 hour a week. If you want to do 100, you do 2 hours a week. If you want to do 250, that was kind of my goal, was like do 250 hours of service this year. You do 5 hours a week.
That is amazing. This could be anything.
There's people that do 5 hours a week already, and so we want them to track what they're doing already and then stretch themselves and do just a little bit more. Do 1 more hour if you can, and it can be anywhere. We just want them to serve. And this is an opportunity to track our service, and they're doing national service hours trackers as well too. So we'll combine what we're doing with the national tracker as well too, and try and hit our goal of 75,000. And so there's actually purpose behind the 75,000. It's like if all of our employees put in 250.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I see.
Yeah, so I know not everybody's going to be able to do 250, but there's some that are going to do more. And so we're encouraging, we're not requiring, but I've already had one mayor in Cache Valley reach out to me, and it's like when you get that email and it says, I need to talk to you about one of your employees, and you go, what did they do now?
No.
And he talked about one of our employees who is very skilled at what he does. And they had a problem with their sewer line and putting the roads back together.
Oh.
And one of their employees reached out to him and said, would you come and help? And he went on his own time in the evenings and spent many hours with them, helping them figure out some of the problems that they're dealing with. And, of course, his expertise and institutional knowledge was invaluable for them, because they only have like 3 employees for the whole city, and we have like 450, and so he spent his own time, knowledge, effort to help them fix a problem. So he emailed me and said, your employee is amazing. He's like, thank you so much for, encouraging them to go out and help a neighbor in need. It's like we don't have like a monopoly on that information. We can share the knowledge that we have with our neighbors and hopefully improve their situation as well too. So I was super excited to get that email and share that with the employees and say, look, this is what I want you to do. You can report your hours that you served, each week, or we've got a little survey that they can fill out weekly to say how many hours they put in. It's like, share an experience. If you had a really good experience doing something, share it with us. Let us know. It can still be anonymous, but let us know so we can share those experiences with other people and hopefully inspire them to do a little bit more too.
And also, if you're a local nonprofit in need of volunteers, this is an opportunity, right?
And we're looking for opportunities.
Little Lambs Foundation, if you're out there listening, I know the William A. Bernard Warming Center was even asking for volunteers. I mean, there's so many different things you could do. There's the Medical Reserve Corps through Bear River Health Department.
What really made me think about this was when I was a youth and I was playing youth baseball. So I was playing Little League baseball, and I started when I was 9, which is when you could start. My coach and his assistant coaches were police officers, and it was Dan Jensen, and it was Rich Hendricks, who later was police chief in Logan.
Yeah.
You know, those were my coaches, and I got to know them as a 9, 10, 12, 12-year-old. I got to know them as baseball coaches and as my friends, and then later realized, oh, they're police officers as well too. And so them serving in the community as coaches opened my eyes to these police officers are real people, you know, and they're my friends.
Sure.
You know, it wasn't Officer Jensen, it was Dan. You know, anytime I saw Dan, he was in uniform. It wasn't Officer, it was Dan. You know, and so that made a huge impression on me as a youth on who these authority figures were.
And it's important to have those connections.
Yeah, and so this creates an opportunity for our employees, whether they work in public works or whether they work in environmental or whether they're a firefighter or a police officer, we'll give them an opportunity to get out there and be a part of the community and get to know people. And then they realize, oh, I didn't realize you were a firefighter for Logan City. That's so cool, you know. And it just creates more opportunities for us to interact with people and find out that they are real people and not just a badge.
You're also encouraging residents to
participate,
to set their own goals for service hours.
I would love to do the same thing with the residents somehow, where they can track their hours as well too, and we can submit that. But I don't know if the state of Utah is doing it, but I know nationally they're doing a service tracker. And then in conjunction with that, we're going to do service projects. I'm going to encourage each neighborhood to do a project, and then hopefully we'll have employees that show up to help. And bring their families, and so this is on your own time. This is not city time. This is like you can donate your own time if you want to participate.
And one of these is you're asking residents to join the city in this is a form of service. The Plant a Tree with Me program.
Yep. So we've set aside some money to plant 250 trees. And we're not talking little teeny trees. We're talking 2 to 3 inch caliper trees.
Oh, wow, really?
Really big ones, yeah. And so we've got needs throughout the city in parks, in the cemetery, and public space areas, park strips. And we're going to plant 250 trees. And I would love to get our community to donate and match it. If we can get the community to donate enough money to match that, we could plant 500 trees. We had a grant for $300,000 for trees. And with the new administration, we did not get that grant, and so we had qualified for it. We were awarded it, and then we never got the money.
Oh, that was one of the pause. We'll put on pause.
Yep, and that money has disappeared, so we're not going to get it. So here's our attempt to try and match that. We're not gonna match 300,000, but
sure,
but we're gonna set aside 50,000 for the 250 trees because they cost about between $300 and $500 for nice big trees.
Yeah.
And so if we can get the community to match that and we plant 500 trees, that's twice as good.
This is a way to not only beautify the city, but there are a lot of environmental benefits.
Oh yeah.
Of adding trees, and of course, I saw this amazing study a long time ago. It was a study on property values and trees. Yeah. And I mean, there are so many benefits of this.
Yes.
So,
yeah. So
very cool.
So I'm excited about this, and we're going to try and get the forestry board to help coordinate all this as well too. But we're going to try and get as much help from the community as we can. And then inspiration was kind of hard for me to figure out. It's like, how do I inspire the community to be better, to do more, to reach for the stars? And I'm like, I don't know if I'm up for the challenge. It's like, that's a lot. Do I bring in, somebody who grew up here in Cache Valley that turned into an astronaut, or done some significant things? And then I started thinking about who inspires me. I'm like, well, who inspires me? And right now, it's actually my kids.
Sure.
The stuff that my kids are doing are amazing. Like my daughter's graduating next week from Air Force pilot training school.
Oh, really?
So she's getting her wings, and we're going to check that out. So it's pretty cool. My other daughter is like going to have 2 degrees from Utah State in art, and she was never going to graduate from college or never get a degree. I'm not going to do that, Dad. That's stupid. And now she's going to get 2. Yeah. And I'm just like, this is so cool. It's like, so they're inspiring me. And so I'm like, well, how do I get our kids to inspire us all? And so we come up with Project Inspire, and we partnered with Utah State, Logan City School District, and Logan City. And we're going to put up 9 grants, all of $500. So we're going to put up 9 grants, 3 to each school. So 3 to Utah State, 3 to Logan City, 3 to the Logan City Middle School. and you can apply for that $500. And the theme is dream big and execute small, because a lot of people think that you have to have a lot of people or a lot of money or do something big to make a difference. You know, like when we built the library, it's $16 million. You know, it's like you got to have a lot of money to make a big impact in your community like the library does. But I look at the library as 16 million little things that had to happen to get the library.
Literally.
I mean, it was 16 million little things that had to happen. So it's like we can teach our kids that you don't need a lot of money to make a difference. And so we're going to put up $500 grants. They can apply for the $500. And my question is, how can you make a big difference in your community for $500?
This is going to be fun
for $500. And I think we're going to see some really cool ideas. And my criteria is I want the wow, this is awesome factor in there. It's like I just want to just look at an application and go, that's so cool. That is like such a cool idea. You know,
cool.
And how many people can you affect and how many people can participate? You know, it's like we want to get as many people participating, affect as many people as possible, and just do something really cool. I mean, it could be just a group of friends that get together and plan and design a mural and then go and put on a building that, you know, the owner wants it. It could be as simple as we're going to do a kite flying afternoon on Crimson Field at Logan High, and we're going to raise money for mental health awareness. I mean, it could be, I mean, the sky's the limit.
This is very cool.
But you got $500 to spend, so you're not going to spend a lot of money. I don't want you to go over budget, but we're going to give you the money for supplies or for advertising. I mean, whatever you want to use that money for, except for yourself. And you can't turn around and give that money, you know, to another nonprofit. You know, it's like use the money to do something good.
That is very cool.
And then we'll just see what we get.
And for listeners, if you're a Logan resident, for young people out there interested in this, the application is available now. Application deadline is March 20th, and you can go to loganutah.gov and download the application now. This is really cool, inspiring the next generation.
And the application can be filled out traditionally. You know, you can fill it out and send it back in, or you can do a little video. You just got to make sure you hit all the key points in there so we know.
Cool.
And I want to know what the thought process is. I want to know, how did you come up with this idea? And how are you going to implement it? And how are you going to spend the money? I mean, there's a process you've got to go through, but I think there's some really cool ideas that we're gonna see. And I'm hoping we have 20 really cool ideas that I want to fund, and then I'll go find some people to fund it a little bit more.
I'm really excited to see how this goes. Again, for listeners, March 20th, the deadline for the application for the Project Inspire grants. $500 grants that can be used on any project to improve your community. And loganutah.gov to download that application.
I've heard of another similar program that they did back east, and the kids came up with this idea that they were going to build some hammocks, and they built these giant hammocks and put them in the parks temporarily, you know, and so it kind of moved around, and then people would just go hang out in the park and like sit on the hammock with a bunch of friends and stuff. I mean, it could be as simple as that. And there's some really cool big projects that you could do, but think small, dream big, execute small.
We're going to do the theme.
We're going to do a lot of little things that really add up to making a difference in our community. And maybe the kids see things that maybe we don't see and say, hey, this is a problem. We should try and fix that. You know, so it could be, how do we impact people, but it could be also, how do we impact our environment, or you know, how do we make our city a little bit better? But we're going to do it with small steps, and they're going to add up to something big.
This is again, March 20th, the deadline for this. I'm trying to find it while we've been talking here. In Salt Lake, there is a structure that was built around an artesian well in Salt Lake that came from something like this. It was a community grant. They gave, I don't know how much to young people to come up with something to beautify the city or make something more usable. But they built this artesian well structure in a way that made it more accessible for those with disabilities. But a bunch of kids did it. These were 13, 14-year-olds.
My hope is that this spring and summer we'll have 1,000 kids running around the community doing good things. You know, doing cool things, and then we're gonna promote it. So we'll have them come to city council. We'll talk about the cool stuff that they're doing. maybe we'll have a cash prize for the best project.
Sure.
So we're talking about having a cash prize for the coolest project.
I love it.
And it's gonna be a lot of fun. So
Very
Logan
cool.
City, we've got some cool things happening this whole year for America 250.
Check it out, loganutah.gov for the application and all the details on everything we just discussed. Thanks again to Logan City Mayor Mark Anderson for being with us today for Speak to the Mayor. And stick around. Representative Casey Snyder is next.
Maybe I'll have to stick around for that.
Yeah, argue with him a little bit. Representative Casey Snyder next here on KVNU Logan.
Everyone has an estate, but do you have an estate plan? This is Jace Allen, Northern Utah's estate planning attorney. At Allen Law Office, wills and trusts are what we do. If you've been putting it off, now is the time to get it done. Don't wait until it's too late. Protect your loved ones, protect your legacy, protect your assets. Start today at cashlegal.com or just search Allen Law Office. Wills and trusts are what we do. Allen Law Office.
Hi everyone, it's Congressman Blake Moore here. Representing Utah's priorities in Congress and providing top-notch constituent service is at the heart of everything Team Moore does. We've had great success helping Utahns with expedited passports, visa processing, veterans benefits, immigration petitions, retirement issues, tax returns, and much more. If you need help navigating a federal agency, including the IRS, Social Security, the VA, Immigration Services, or Medicare, please give my office a call at 801-625-0107. That's 801-625-0107. We're also happy to help coordinate any U.S. Capitol tours, take your comments, and provide legislative updates at any time. I also want to invite you to sign up for my weekly e-newsletter. This is our most popular form of communication with constituents, and each week I share a personal takeaway, legislative updates, recent meetings, a member spotlight, upcoming events, and much more. Sign up today at blakemore.house.gov. It is an honor to serve you and your family in Congress. Thank you. Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
Your heart works hard for you every day, and now it's time to return the favor. Logan Regional Hospital invites you to a free Healthy Heart Fair on Thursday, February 19th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Discover simple ways to improve your heart health with expert guidance, heart-healthy refreshments and recipes, exercise tips, guided tours, and free blood pressure checks. Small changes can lead to a healthier life. Join Logan Regional Hospital in the Heart and Lung Center on February 19th.
Miss a minute? You're missing a lot. Breaking news, stimulating talk, News Talk, KVNU Logan, 610 AM and 102.1 FM.